Hey, hey, hey! It's Tuesday, and I don't know what day it is other than Tuesday. So, hey guys, and my name is Kristen. That weirdo right there is my handsome hubby Lance. Where'd you go, weirdo?
You'd think we'd have it all together, but guess what? It seems like it always runs to the last minute.
So anyways, I'm Kristen. That's Lance. Woohoo! And we are Designs by K&L. We do furniture painting, furniture restyling, design, and a little bit of home decor. Whatever else. Woodworking. You name it, we do it.
I'm planning on kind of building my own furniture here. Probably after the first of the year. Yep.
So you never know. And if you hear a panting, it is snow down here. She's hot or something, and she is overly panting. So anyways, today we are going to show you how to do like some 3D stenciling and how to use some molds where we make our own appliques for our furniture. And kind of show y'all how fairly easy that is to do.
Yeah, so we've done these in probably a couple of weeks ago where we showed you a couple of different ways that we made some of these, but guess what? We learned actually an easier and better way.
Yes.
I'm not opposed to the other ways, but I mean, I think I said in the video that I'm not a very patient person, and this works actually good for me.
Yes. Lord knows I'm not patient.
Are you going to show that piece to me?
Am I going to show what?
That thing.
Oh, the raised stencil? Yeah, I'll get to it in a minute. But first of all, I want to show you how the tray turned out after Lance did his magic. Woo! Look at that filigree that Lance did. He rocked it.
Hold it still so I can see.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It kind of brought me back to the old pinstriping days. Yeah.
Pinstriping.
Yes,
it is
indeed.
gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So there's that. I'm going to grab something else and show y'all. If I don't trip over it, talk to them, babe. Tell them all about it.
Okay, so the 3D stenciling basically is we will take a stencil that is really thin, like a Mylar sheet that has a design in it, and we're going to put it on like a piece of, well, I would say probably more a flat surface, and put like Dixie Belle Mud over it.
Hey, Tracy. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, let us know if you can hear us okay and we're not sideways. So anyway, the stencil mud, I'll get into that in a second. But here's how it looks.
And I'm not finished with this piece yet, but this will give you an idea. And I've got to get up close so you can actually see it. See how raised it is? So we did the raised stencil on this, and then we painted it over it, and then we came back with some gilding wax. So it's not quite finished, but I wanted to at least show you how it looks on the wood. So.
Yep.
So that's what we're going to be showing you guys today.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I find that this technique has lots of different uses that we can do as far as gilding, painting, leaving it like it is, the color, the base color of the furniture. Let's see.
I don't know. I have to get up here so I can see. Hey, Christina. We're doing 3D stenciling today. Whoop, whoop.
Yep. As far as like gilding, using the base color and not doing anything, just using the 3D part, or coloring, painting over the stencil, which is kind of cool too. So this is a fairly new technique for the both of us, I think, because I have never done it before until just kind of recently. And you know, I kind of find it to be a slight bit challenging.
Yeah, it is. I like it better on the big stencils like I did on this right here, because I can kind of make a mess and it's okay. I like the big, but when you're doing a smaller stencil, it's a little bit more challenging. So
I think for the most part, when you first use your stencil for the first time, what happens after that could affect the next stenciling part, because the cleaning has to be very delicate. Mm-hmm. Some of these little points are really tiny. I'm talking about tiny. And if you go and throw it in your sink and you think you're going to wash those things and wipe it with a sponge, you'll bend one of those things back, and it's not going to go back like it was. So you got to take a good bit of care in cleaning it, which I could probably do a whole another episode on that one. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually put some stenciling on this old
cabinet. Nana, do you recognize these cabinets? These lovely cabinets came from your house.
Well, it's just a door from it.
Well, it was a door cabinet. It even still has the brown on the back.
Yeah.
So, and then we're also going to show you how to do the appliques.
Yep, so that's a finished one that she's going to be doing that we were showing you from these things. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm probably just going to do like one corner here with one of these designs that shows like it's like the corner piece. And then it's I'll show you kind of what it's going to look like. This is what it looks like. That's just the Dixie Belle Mud. And then if you paint it, it looks like that. Okay, so the darker purple is the amethyst, and the light is is it lavender?
Yes, lavender.
Yep, lucky lavender. So you can get an idea. I kind of liked, sometimes you might not let it show up so much, but then, you know, sometimes the lighter, you just got to be careful. I wanted to do it on a dark color here so you can see the mud show up good, but you can paint it over any way that you want to, and I'll kind of show you how to do that in a little while. So I'm going to get started laying this down here, and she can kind of show you about how she's going to do the glue.
Well, I want them to be able to see you do that. So.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay. So the Dixie Belle Mud is what we're going to use for the raised stenciling. However, if you don't have any and you want to just play around, you can use, hey AJ, you can use the, help me out babe, what's it called?
What is it? What are you talking about?
Like the sheetrock mud.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, sheetrock mud.
But the purple stuff. Oh well.
Sorry.
Anyways.
I can't think of it.
Okay, so Dixie Belle Mud is what we're going to use, or what he's going to use.
You know, I think the difference is between, I have used this just recently versus sheetrock mud or the other stuff that we can't think of the name of, is this doesn't crack.
Dry decks or whatever.
Dry decks, yeah. This doesn't crack.
Yeah.
And if the other dries too fast, it will crack.
Yeah. And you see, it's kind of like the consistency of sheetrock mud. So
yeah, it's kind of
like wood filler. Thank you.
Yeah. It's kind of like marshmallow fluff a little bit. It's really fluffy.
It's fluffy.
Fluffy. Okay, so I personally, for application, like my painter's spatula that's got a curve in it there, right? So that when I lay it on there, it's raised up enough to where my hand is not going to be down there doing it. Okay, so now I want to get my stencil positioned in the right spot. Get off me.
It's on you.
Got to get an idea about where I'm going to put it. I can kind of see through the stencil a little bit. But just because I don't want it to move as I'm doing it, I'm going to lay a little bit of blue painter's tape in a couple of corners on the sides.
Can you add paint to the mud? Yes, you can add paint to the Dixie Belle Mud. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, if I'd have had a little bit more time tonight, I probably would have done that because that would save a step, and I bet it looks just as good. Yep. Okay, so I've taped the stencil. Oh, it looks weird.
What?
Tape the stencil in place. And so now, oh, no, that's not in the right place. There we go.
Perfectionist at its finest.
Well, until I remove the stencil, and then we'll find out how good that turned out.
When I do mine, I just throw it on. Just throw it on and go.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, so I'm gonna, after we stirred it up a little bit, I'm just going to get some of that good fluffy right out of the middle.
I'm gonna bring them in. I'm gonna bring them in closer.
Bring them in. This is where I find it to be a delicate process here. Now I've got too much on here, so I'm going to take a little of that off of there. Now I don't want to just go slapping this stuff on there like you're icing a cake, because that ain't going to work. I'm just going to kind of lightly touch it and maybe smooth it out just a little bit.
It looks like icing a cake to me, babe.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the truth. If I ever iced a cake,
Which he has, by the way. Numerous cakes. Did y'all know he does cakes too?
I hear somebody coming down the steps.
I hear somebody. Who is that? Lizzie Bug!
Hey, Liz.
You went to Mexican. Y'all are gonna get a sneak peek of what Lizzie Bug's going to be for Halloween.
Okay, so basically what I've done is I kind of barely kind of just pressed it down into the stencil and I delicately kind of scraped it along the edge and wiped it off. Okay? Now, this does take a little bit of practice because I wasn't really the best at it the first time, but after I've done it a couple of times, I've kind of gotten the hang of it and done a little bit better. So don't do it on your good furniture yet. Just practice a couple of times. You guys should probably do it on like cardstock.
Yeah,
I mean, it'd be about the same thing, right?
Mitzi says, "Do you put it on thick?" This is my take on it. He may have a different take on it. You can use this stencil right here is just a cheap Michaels stencil and
inexpensive.
Yes, an inexpensive one. Now, when I did this big piece down here, I had a $30 3D stencil, which is thicker. And yes, you can slap that mess on, and that's exactly what I did. I used a big putty knife. I threw it on, scraped it because the stencil was not going to tear. However, if you just want to play around with it with your Michaels stencils, don't slap it on. But
yeah, well, I just kind of, after I put the mud on there, I just kind of scraped right across the top. And so it'll be about the thickness of the stencil. But, you know, it's not that big a deal because when I first done a couple of them, in fact, on that purple one, here, give a close-up of the purple one right there. You see it from a distance, it looks awesome, but you get really, really, really close, it ain't perfect. It's got some places in it that could be better. You gotta hold it still just a little bit.
y'all see the way he talks to me? Just hold it still a minute. I'm going to knock you out, boy.
It's like riding in the back of a Winnebago. All right, so
That's
anyway,
way
I've
before my
got
time. I don't even know what that is.
Now I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to set it down so I can remove the stencil and the tape from it. I want to kind of lift it straight off of there so I don't smear it.
Schmear?
Smear it.
Schmear it.
That is some sticky tape.
You got it? You got it? Got it? Ooh, look at that, baby. Look at that. Ooh, how pretty.
Pretty.
Pretty, pretty.
Now, I'm not absolutely quite sure what Dixie Belle says, how long it takes for this mud to dry. But I'm telling you, I hit it with a hairdryer and just let it sit in front of the fan, and I was painting it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably, obviously, if you're doing it with a bigger stencil, then you're going to, it's going to be thicker, so you're going to want to
Yeah, don't rush
like,
it. If
yeah,
you
I
got
let
time,
mine stay overnight, like
leave it.
totally cure.
Yep.
Now, when I did mine, and we can do this to this too, if there's any little places in them that maybe, which there's really not on this one, but if, slap him, like he's so perfect. If there's any places where it got a little raised or whatever, once it completely dries overnight or whatever, you can go back and lightly sand those spots, and it's just going to smooth it out.
Lightly.
Yes, lightly, like with 220, nothing
yeah.
heavy at all.
Yeah, even I think even the Dixie Belle 220, like it's got the spongy feel to it. I mean, because you got to go really lightly with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably let it dry at least 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe even overnight would be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Before you come back and do that.
Yes.
So once it's totally dry, and once if you needed to sand it or whatever, then it's ready. You can paint it, or if you wanted to go ahead and mix your paint with it, you can do that. When I did mine down here, I used gilding wax, which I'm going to show you how to use on this, and then you can seal it if you like or not. That's just totally up to you. So,
Yep. I mean, it's absolutely flawless.
would you like to say hey?
Hi.
You're going to have to get back there. Hold on. She's been trick-or-treating at the elementary school. Can y'all guess who she is or what she is? Now that's cheating.
I'm not helping it up so they can't get it.
Oh, I bet y'all can guess pretty easy. Pretty easy.
What's next?
Whoop, whoop. That's right. She's a pink lady. Okay, so now I'm going to show y'all how to do these molds. We've done them once before, and we did them with paper clay and
You know, I had used
modeling
some,
clay.
the oven baked, I can't think of the name of it, the clay that you can get from Michael's that you push in there and get the mold and bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes. It didn't do terrible because it was 15 minutes versus the paper clay took like 3 days.
True. Takes forever.
Yeah. This way, that's my
It's
way.
pretty easy.
Yep.
Okay, so you have your mold, and Nana says, "Hey, Lizzie Bug."
Hey, Nana.
Go ahead.
She says, "Hey."
Go ahead.
Well, I'll say
She's been.
Okay, mold glue gun. That's the secret. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a mold out like this. Actually,
You gonna be with her?
let me come around there so I can show y'all better. Okay, so when you're using the glue gun, your molds are gonna come out. That's really bright. There we go. Let me show you. Okay, so your molds are gonna come out. You can see how they're still delicate and it's got all the little spots on them, but they're also bendable, which would not be able to do with the paper clay that we used before. And then you can paint them and do whatever you want to. So when you have your mold and your glue gun, the best thing to do is to start in a corner. I'm stuck over there, babe. Okay. So just start in a corner. It's probably hard for y'all to see, but
It's not that hard to figure out. Just squirt it in the corner.
Yeah, squirt it in the corner and work your way out.
As you get so high up in the you don't want it to get way up high above where you're doing it.
Yeah. The mold?
Yeah, mold.
Applique. Yeah, because the thing with the glue is it's kind of self-leveling. So you're not going to have to sit there and mash. Just put enough glue in there and then let it do its thing while it's cooling.
Yeah, you put too much in there, it's going to build up on the top side on this. But when you pop it out of the mold, it's going to be rounded. And when you stick it on your piece, it's not going to fit just right. And you can't sand it. There's really nothing much you can do about it. But for... You going to have enough glue?
Yeah.
For hot glue and the way and easy and as fast it is, if it doesn't really work out, pop it out and start over. Yeah,
Okay,
really
so
hot.
I'm gonna have to like kind of show you. So I've just filled it up, which I don't want. Okay, you can't really see since it's clear, but so it's filled up. You're gonna let it sit. It does not take long. I did this one right before we came on. So how long have we been on? 5-10 minutes? I don't know, maybe longer. Anyways, it doesn't take that long to dry. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to push with your thumb and it comes right up. See how cool? Now, if you have any little what do you call it? Stragglers.
Hot glue strings.
Hot glue strings, just take it off with your thumb. They're going to pop right off.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. But see?
Yep.
How cool that is?
You're not going to see them anyway once you get the strings off.
And your mold is still clean. You don't have to use the...
Yep, no cornstarch.
No cornstarch, nothing like that. You just put the hot glue in there. Make sure it's hot. If it's cold, it's not going to work.
Yep.
It's got to be the hot glue. And then, like I said, whenever you take it out, if there are any little stragglers, like there's a string attached to my hand, will not come off.
They come off really easy.
Yeah, they come off easy. So, and then there you go. Then you have a piece that you can paint.
And I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to break. I
Mm-mm.
promise you it's not going to break. And if you got a curved piece, like this piece here, it's got some curves around it right there. I mean, it's bendable.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to it.
So, let's show them. Okay, so I did this one earlier, and it has been, you can use any glue to attach it. Gorilla Glue. I put a little hot glue on there just so it would stick in place while the other glues were drying. Lance gave me this Power Grip glue. But really, Gorilla Glue is great. You just get the clear Gorilla Glue. And then you can paint any color. And as you see, I mean, it paints really well. So, do you have anything to add, Sweetness?
If you're, I think for the most part, if your piece, any of the ends want to kind of pull up a little bit as you're trying to glue it, it just keeps flopping up. Just lay something flat down on top of it. Not too heavy, a couple of books or whatever. And just let it sit for a little while and let it dry like that, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, I'm going to add a little gilding wax. So, the Dixie Belle gilding wax, I'm going to add some to it just to give it some dimension. Are you going to hold it for me? Thank you, babe. So, I'm just going to put some on with my finger.
Is it bright enough?
Well,
Oh, that's too bright. Sorry. Ah.
Just play with it.
I think it's kind of cool. Can't really see it as good on the camera.
Can you not?
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Just rub it on those high places. See, you already have your hand in this, so is that dry?
Oh,
Is it dried?
look at there.
For the most
Not
part.
too bad.
There's always something, guys.
Well, that gives you an idea about how good it dries. That's probably left over from. Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So it's just like the wood appliques, except for you don't have to spend a fortune in wood appliques.
Well, and you can use them over and over again.
Yeah, and the molds you can actually, the Redesign with Prima molds that we use are food safe. So you can actually use these to make candies or fondants or
I think
whatever. So
Yeah, I think some of them are. I'm not sure if all of them are, but
Most of them are.
Most of them are.
How about some gold?
How about some chocolate?
Got some gold on my fingernail.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it, babe?
No, I got one more thing. You
got one more thing?
You got time? It's almost been 30 minutes, so I'm gonna check one more thing.
Okay. I have no idea, so.
No, I promise I'll be
prepared.
quick. Okay, so after this one's dry, after you get to this part and it's dried, if you want to paint over it, like I did these, just where's this stencil?
I don't know.
Here. Take your stencil, lay it back right on top of it after you cleaned it, of course. Tape it back in place. It'll fit right back where it was. And then just you can paint over it, but I wouldn't use like a heavy stiff stencil brush. I
Just use the punchers, the little stencil punchers.
yes, or even yeah. There you go, like a sponge puncher.
Like one of these.
Just kind of lightly. You don't want to go back and forth, okay? Up and down, up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then just lightly do it. It doesn't matter if it's not dead perfect, because I'm telling you, you're not going to notice it. And once you get that part done, you wind up with the painted part like that. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to it.
So fun, so cool.
Yep.
And they're not going to break because it's glue and mud, so you don't have to worry about it chipping and falling off and wood filler and all that fun stuff. So, okay guys, so I think that is it for today. We got 2 more days in our 31 days live. Not sure exactly what we're going to do tomorrow, but I think it's going to be a family affair. Everybody keeps on asking about the 13-year-old redhead that we have, and so we're going to try to get him in on the action tomorrow night. Actually, we're probably going to take away his phone and make him get in on the action, whether he likes it or not. So stay tuned for that. And then Thursday is the last day. We'll be drawing. We'll be doing, we're going to do 2 drawings. We'll do 2 drawings on Thursday. So as long as you've liked, shared, and are following us, then your name is in the pot for the drawing.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, guys. Anything else?
I was going to say thank you so much for watching and showing the love. And we've had a great time doing them, and we'll see what happens the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, we love y'all. Have a great evening, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.